Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature zebu heifer Susie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. Thoroughbred gelding Lotus, and his rider is Jill, his owner, and I am Sonia Sokolow. We're back here in my obstacles area, trail obstacles area at Minmore Farms, which is always set up so that we can refresh our horses' memory on trail obstacles and work on confidence building. That's why Jill is out here today with Lotus. His history, Jill will very briefly explain. His inclinations, Jill might mention, and then we'll show you his abilities and willingness today on some of the obstacles. So Jill, tell us, why did you bring Lotus back here today, and briefly, what's his history?
All right, Lotus is an ex-racehorse. He's 11 years old, and he raced for a couple years. After that, he had a jumping career. He's always been a very hot horse, and a horse that lacks confidence. So he gets nervous when he's asked to do new things. What I'm hoping is to work with him in the obstacles more. He's done a little bit of work, but to kind of do it more consistently to help him build confidence. Because once he understands what he's doing, he seems to really start to enjoy things. He's like that with lunging. Once he really understands what the objective is on the lunge line, he relaxes into it, and I'm hoping to achieve the same thing with the obstacle work. And also just to get him using his mind. He's a horse that I think if he gets bored, he starts acting out and making trouble. So I find if I keep him engaged by doing, a couple times a week, different mind activities, he just seems to be a more relaxed horse.
Okay, and last week Jill and I came back here. Jill was riding her Morgan Demi, and I was riding Demi's daughter, Semi. And we investigated some of these obstacles, how good each of the horses did them that day, because each of the horses had done them many times in the past. So Jill kind of has an idea what's hard and what isn't, and what she wants to work on with Lotus. So I'm going to follow along with the camera, and Jill's going to take Lotus where she feels comfortable and where we can show you Lotus's prerequisite skills. Well, Jill has chosen the bridge at first, the box, stop in the box. Lotus is doing very well. Some horses wouldn't do something like this that well, having not done it for a long time in the past. Now, the bending around the barrels, and of course at first you want to do a forward motion. He's looking really supple and light, bending nicely, looking where he's going. Jill is doing a great job with leg pressure and body position. Very nice. Do you dare to do backwards today, Jill, or do you want to just leave it forwards?
Just forward. I'm going to try backwards through here.
Okay, she just wants to do the barrels forward today, but she is going to try the L forward and then backwards. That's a straight path with a turn. Each one of these obstacles can be easily made at anybody's home. Info at urbancowgirlchannel.com. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer you how I put these obstacles together very inexpensively. All right, Jill wants to tell us something about Lotus. That's good. We want to know the history of every single task. If you know something about what he's likely to do, go ahead, Jill.
I was going to say, being an ex-racehorse, Lotus has done very little work going backwards. Most of his work has been going forwards. Even after I got him and he did jumping, we didn't ever do any work going backwards. And since that time, I've learned it's very important for his training, and not only that, but the chiropractor, the horse chiropractor, says it's also very good for their muscles and just their keeping supple in their legs and their back because of the motion. It's like a person walking backwards. It's good for your leg muscles. It's also good for his. So we've been doing a little back work, and it's still difficult for him, but I'm going to try to do some here and try this turn through the L.
And I'm going to move back in case he spooks. If he accidentally steps on these rails, he could spook. And Jill learned by reviewing this with Demi the other day that if she takes a wrong step, she just stop Demi, step forward again, and try it again. Now, yes, he's about to step on that rail. Good. Yeah, he's a little bit perturbed based on his head throwing and biting the bit. He just hit the rail. It's okay. He's not quite sure what he's supposed to be doing here. So he's trying very hard, in my opinion, to listen to Jill. Not bad at all.
So I'm going to walk him through it and walk him back through and then back him the other way.
Okay, so she's going to walk through, turn around and walk forward again through it, and then back him the other way. See, walking through forward gives them an idea that there are these white things on the ground and that maybe they have a purpose. Although when he's backing right now, he may not realize that the purpose is to back through them and not step on them.
I think you should explain, Sonia, about how you taught me how I have to look, because I didn't know that, so I think the viewers might find
Okay.
that helpful.
Okay, if you want your horse's hip to move in a certain direction, look at the hip from the other side. And they will tend to move the hip away from your look. In addition, of course, to away from your leg pressure. Very good. Look at that. That was excellent.
A little bit more, a little bit back. Back. Good boy.
I think that was a very good grade for backing and going forward through the L. And Jill has some carrots, small pieces of carrot as reward. Here at Minmore Farms, we have no qualms about using reward for the right answers.
All right. So this one.
You're going to go to the L next, the T. Yeah, now the T is similar to the L. But you see, the T is made up of posts, so they're 5 by 5 inch posts rather than flat rails. Are they therefore easier to see? Probably. Are they therefore a little bit spookier to step on? Probably. And the shape is a T, so you can go through in a forward direction, different ways, and then you can maybe just go back straight. Okay, now you've got that post. Oh, you're going to turn. Good. Very nice. He's just listening to Jill. Look at his eyes. His eyes are telling a story. Yes, he's listening very hard to Jill, trying to do what she wants. And he's getting the idea that when he gets a pat on the neck, he should reach for that small piece of carrot. Now these are the uneven parallel bars. It makes the horse need to look where they're stepping, because depending upon where the rider takes the horse through, it's either higher or lower. They're parallel but uneven, and there was no problem there for Lotus. And Jill, I did remove the weeds in the rope curtain here, and notice that you're on a higher horse today.
He's been through this. I've never ridden him through it before.
Okay. Well, I removed the weeds. As you can see, there were some weeds growing between the ropes. Do you want to try it? You know, that's always a decision. Are we ready for it? Can he handle it? Jill is going to have to duck. There's a piece of black plastic holding up the ropes. And the ropes aren't real dense. On purpose, I made them just a slight obstacle. You may want to get off and walk them through the first time. It's a judgment call. Whoa, okay, yes, he did get spooked. That is, fortunately, that's not a knee rubber. You have plenty of room for the horse to run through like Lotus just did. This one here, which is made up of caution tape, is between two trees. That is plenty of space for a horse and rider to walk through, but not if the horse spooks, because it could be a knee rubber.
I'm going to walk him through the ropes and see if I can get him to do it without.
Okay, she's going to walk him through now through the same rope curtain. She wants to make sure that he's not afraid of it, as he appeared to be. He was afraid, but he certainly was reasonably responsive to Jill's request. So Jill is going to, which is a very good idea when you're doing obstacles, do it from the ground. If you have any question about responsiveness from the saddle, now he's a little bit resistant. And if need be, I'll leave the camera on us and go get some kind, probably just stepping behind him will be enough.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. Oh, he might go. Lotus surprises us sometimes. Aha. Yeah, still a little bit of spook, but nothing like the first time.
Good boy.
I don't think Jill has a preconceived notion of what is acceptable, what's an A and what's a B yet. No. But I think she's very pleased with his abilities to figure it out, what it is she wants. Oh, you're going to walk through the caution tape. Now the caution tape is bright colored. Horses are colorblind, but can see shades. And look at, I have to show you Lotus's eyeballs. He is thinking his ears are forward. Oh, and he is pooping, probably due to stress.
Yeah, a little nervous.
Let's see if he'll walk through. Yes.
That actually was better than...
Yes, it was. You held it open. You want to go, you haven't gone the other direction of either of them.
All right, okay.
So that could be for another day, or you could do it today. Everything you do with a horse, they say, should be done from both directions. Everything. Because it's a different task from the other direction. There are different backgrounds. They say the horses have a different brain on the other side.
Give him a little encouragement.
All right, so I am going to just move this camera back so that we can see if me stepping behind Lotus, he knows me quite well too, will get him to be willing to step through the caution tape curtain. Avoidance.
Yeah. I have to straighten him out.
Yes. Okay, we need to straighten him out because in his avoidance, He lost his straight path. I'm going to walk up now. I'm going to time my walk and walking up to him, and I'm not going to raise my hands. That might be too much for Lotus. There you go.
Good boy. Yeah. One more time to do it.
Okay, Jill wants to try it again with the other curtain in the other direction. Yes, no problem. A little bit of concern, but that's expected. Are you going to do the caution again? Caution again?
No, I think that's good. I'm happy.
Yeah, okay. She thinks that's good, and I agree. Sometimes it's a judgment call. When do you stop trying to do better?
The balance beam has been the hardest for him.
All right, so Jill is going to take him to the balance beam, and we'll turn the camera back on there. It's a very slow process teaching a horse to go across the balance beam. Jill has worked on it a little bit with Lotus. She's gotten him to at least put a front leg up on it, working all by herself with him. I'm here today running the camera, but I also have just a piece of PVC in my hand. And if she calls me forward, I'll provide a visual block for her if he tends to veer off in one direction or the other. Now, does he understand that the next step is the next front foot? That, I think, is going to have to happen some other way besides lifting that front foot. Demi, her Morgan horse, walks across this balance beam and was the first horse years ago who learned how to do it. And I've never seen an instructional sequence on how to teach a horse to walk across a 8 to 16 foot by 6 to 8 inch across board. It almost looks impossible, but it is not, if the horse understands what you want. She wants him to put his weight down, and I'm sure if he understood that that's all you want, he'd do it. He doesn't quite understand. And I think it's going to be hard to do from the ground. You might have a better chance from the saddle.
No.
If I, with my PVC pipe, point to the balance beam, and maybe even if he almost accidentally just puts a foot up there.
I don't think so. I think it would be too difficult to ride him across. I just think it's going to take a long time.
She feels that riding him across is not called for it yet. So she's going to, maybe, yes, maybe he'll put up a foot in his eagerness to get his carrot. And maybe if I go and position myself in such a way that he understands that there's a corridor, maybe we'll get a foot up there, weight bearing.
White stick.
Pirelli always says that first head, then neck, then feet. Well, we've got the head and the neck. Do we have enough confidence to get those, at least those front feet up there? Enough understanding that that's the right answer. Yeah, keep going. Maybe even pull him without looking at him. They say that if you want a horse to go forward in an obstacle, you can look at them, but not at their eyes, but look instead at their chest. He's confused. Resistant out of confusion. Yes, that was a try.
Yes.
And they say a reward ever so slight a right try. In the past, when she was out here working by herself, if he started to step off or out of the corridor, then she'd back him off and make him start again. Whatever message can be used to make the horse understand that that's the wrong answer. That's the way learning will happen. And then whatever reward can be used to make the horse understand that they have given you the right answer. I would like to see, he stops, see if you can keep walking, if you have enough confidence to walk with you. Ah, he walked, okay.
I don't want him to do that.
Right, and what I'd like to do is pick up that stick and just stand in the way of him doing that while you confidently walk across the beam. Let's see if that works. Good boy.
Good boy. Put his foot on it.
Look at his chest or look forward. Jill knows Lotus very well, and if when we apply too much pressure, he gets that bug-eyed look and his head goes up. She says, too much. Okay, so we're gonna smaller steps, but we did get one ever so slight the right answer. And this kind of obstacle training can take a long time. All you need is patience, repetition. Take the time to give your horse the opportunity to understand what would please you, because most horses would like to please you. Here are some clips from a recent prior Urban Cowgirl show, UCS 18.1, where we worked with Semi and Sadie on the balance beam. Well, that's about as good as I want to get today. Let's see if we can get it now, and we did. At our next session with Lotus, we approach the balance beam from the side. Here is a short clip of Morgan Mare Sadie doing it. The request is put my feet up there and put weight bearing.
Down. Down. No.
Not quite, not quite. You're seeing a little bit of misunderstanding, but that's okay. We've done this in the past. We know we'll be able to explain it to Sadie.
Back up.
Let's see if we can explain it to Sadie.
Good
That's
girl.
one.
Come on.
A little bit too far, a little bit behind. See, she doesn't quite understand. She will.
Good
When
girl.
we say, good girl. Now Lotus begins to learn to step on the balance beam from the side. We're going to ask him to step on it from the side, and we've made him a little corridor with some PVC pipes. We're going to do it from the ground at first. Here he goes down the corridor. She's going to step up to and point to. Let's see what he says. He might just step over, in which case we'll back him up gently. And then he might accidentally step on it. And then he'll get reward because Jill has a pocket full of carrot pieces. Good boy!
He put some weight on it. That was good.
Ever so slight the right answer gets praise.
Good boy.
Not only did he put his foot on the balance beam, but he put his weight on it.
Good. Put some weight on it. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, good boy.
Oh, he's trying.
He is. Come on, how about, it's not going to give away under you. Incline there. Full weight. Good boy. Interesting, he's more willing to wait there on the left front than on the right front.
Yeah, let me do some rhythmic pressure. Not steady pressure, just rhythmic to show him he's to pick that foot up.
Well, he stepped on it to cross over.
That counts.
that was a first.
Ever so slight the try. The right answer. See if he'll respond to rhythmic pressure. Just pick that foot up. Okay. Bring him back forward. Let's do it where you pick up his foot again. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That was very good. Here are clips from our next session with Lotus, asking him to step on the balance beam, which is now in the arena. Look at Lotus investigate. We put some blocks of wood on the north side of the balance beam. We're going to ask him to step over the balance beam, but this time he'll be stepping on a piece of wood. Then we're going to ask him to take small steps backwards until he's got his weight, both front feet on the balance beam. And we may not make it today, but we'll show you when we do. Okay, now we've moved it away from the fence. Jill's going to see if she can step over it and beyond it. He's resisting with frozen feet. There we go, but he completely stepped over all the wood. Small steps are sometimes harder to get than big steps, so we'll keep working on it. Okay, we've gotten Lotus to walk over and stand, and that's progress. We'll keep working on walking over and standing on, not beyond. Here's our progress in just about 2 minutes of elapsed time. Look at that. And he's getting a carrot for reward. Jill got off the saddle because she felt that he needed the confidence of seeing her step over it.
Good boy.
And that helped a lot.
Good boy.
Here's our progress to the minute. We don't have consistency, but we do have relaxation. Sometimes he steps over, sometimes he steps on. Jill, this time, let's see if he will gain confidence by having you step on it again. And he steps over just fine. Then he gives us a little bit of weight. The slight give of the balance beam when Lotus puts his weight on it seems to be concerning him. Normally, he will stand on a solid bridge without resistance. Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Sammy, Demi, and Lotus, Rusty and Susie. www.thesocolos.com